Okay, I'm going to make a transfer tool similar to this one. It's got 5 prongs on it, and what I have used for prongs is cotter pins. So I'm going to take out 5 cotter pins. Now, with the first one I made, it kind of slipped. What you want to do is work your yarn. I have yarn in the brain, sorry. Pull out some Polymer Clay, soften it. And to soften it, you just work it in your hand. Kind of heats it up. So that you can work with. Makes it pliable. Now I have it's a pasta machine I use for my Polymer Clay. Just feed it through, and I'm using the largest setting. And this just helps soften it even more. I think it's at its largest setting. Yeah. Now I'm going to cut out 4 shapes. Now I cut this template out of a cut piece of cardstock. You can use either one, whichever you want. And I use this tool to cut it. Lay it on there. And trace it out. You're going to need 4 of these. I don't work in big pieces at first. Now the piece of paper that I'm setting on, it's cut in grids based on 8 millimeters. Okay, so there's one. Work it together again. Feed it through, make it into a little shape. Feed it through. And you want it to at least be as big as your template so that you can cut your template out. Now if you want to use a razor, just cut 1 cut. I'm lining up the sides and just slicing down. Okay, so there's 2. I need 2 more. And this is not going to be big enough, and I know this. I might get 1 out of it. Almost. Now I'm using white. This is the only block Walmart had. Just cut it out. Okay, there's 3. And just cut some more. And work it out. This is something that you will have to bake. It bakes at 250 degrees. I put it in for 5 minutes and check it. It's going to take about 15 minutes. Just follow the directions on the piece you bought. And just work it into the machine. Get it at least the size of your template. Okay. Just cut straight down. Okay. Now I got my 4 pieces. Move some of my stuff out of the way. Now, I don't want these to come out after they're in, so I'm going to do a little bit of a bend on each end. Just a little bend. Can you see it? Let me see how it just a little bit of a bend. Not much. That way it'll alright, it's not grabbing right. This one must be shorter than the others. Just a little bend. What that does is when you've got it in the grooves you create, it will hold on to the plastic. Now, I want at least this much sticking out, this much being about an inch. It can be a little bit more, a little bit less. You just have to have it the same each one. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little marker so I can. Okay, so there's my. So when I line it up, it's going to be to that spot. Okay, so I'm going to mark each one. So I'll get them in approximately the same spot. I'm just lining them up, putting a little mark on it. Okay. Now I'm going to take these, and these are going to get put onto here. So I'm going to put this piece, line it up, and kind of push it into it. Okay, then take now I'm lining it up to the holes, the lines of my graph. Now another thing you could do, I'm bringing my box, which is a straight edge, so that they're all straight. Now before I bake this, no, it didn't get bent over. I'm going to make sure that my things are lined up right, and I have a piece of my carriage here. And I'm sure that it goes in, grabs the work, and pulls it out. And it does. Now, another way you could line it up, take your plastic and just push down a little bit on that. See, now you got your marks. Okay. And lay the third piece onto it. Push it all down. Even it up a little bit on the sides. Now before you bake it, you want to try it on your bed again. Now if you've got something like a roller that you could use, just roll it together like that. That'll keep it nice and flat. And since I have it on the paper, I'll just pick it up that way. Yep. Okay, now I'm just flattening these ends in here. And that looked like it twisted on me. So I'm going to bring my little bed back up. And make sure that it's lined up, which it is. And now this is ready for baking. I'm just gonna kind of neaten up the ends. Now if you don't want it a square, you can put a handle on that if you want. You can cut this. I like a square, so that's what I'm doing. But you can make it to come down with a handle. You can do almost any shape you want. What you can do, you get your pencil out, and you got your basic shape here, which I'm just going to use let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your basic shape. Now if you wanted a handle, you can just come down like the shape of a paintbrush if you want, and do something like that shape where your lines, your indents are right here. Okay, and what you can do, let me set that aside because that I'm going to bake. I'm going to even up my ends a little bit, kind of smooth out these ends a little. You can round them if you want. Just make sure you don't change in between here. I'm squishing it, especially where that curl, where you curled it.